Hey everyone, welcome to my very first sketchbook tour. I've been getting so many requests for this lately, so I thought today is the perfect time to finally share it with you. Just a little something before we start. If you're interested in this art creation talent sketchbook, I will remove all these pages at the beginning. Then I would be so happy to send it to someone of you. I've got so much support lately. I'm so grateful for it, and this sketchbook just isn't for me. And I know a lot of people love it, and I will give more details in the video. So if you really are interested in one, just let me know, and maybe I can make someone of you happy. So let's talk a bit about materials that I used. This is a moleskin watercolor sketchbook with 200 GSM and I absolutely loved it. Then I've used these Artex acrylic marker pens. They're so much fun. I started using them around the middle of the sketchbook, I believe, and it was so great to use them finally. I heard a lot of good things about them and I'm so glad I had them now. Then I've got the Himimiya gouache set. I had these before multiple times and I always was in love with them, but haven't used them like often enough to really get into it, and they mostly got mold on it. So here's a little tip from me. I've got also this Himimiya gouache spray and it helped me so much with the consistency of the gouache. It's really worth the few dollars it costs. It's not a lot. And then I've used a bunch of alcohol markers, and these are the Ohuhu markers. They have a brush and a fine tip. I also like chisel tips. I know a lot of people don't like them, but since they were on a sale with the fine tip, I've got a 320 pack in 3 different sets. Like, I combined 3 different sets for this. If you want more information, just let me know on this. And now that we've got all the materials, let's start. This was the very first page in my sketchbook. I tested out a bunch of materials like watercolors, gouache, alcohol markers, and colored pencils. When I remember correctly, it was so much fun, and I was just playing around with the colors, getting to know the paper better, and I can totally recommend you do this in your sketchbooks. Then I've gotten 2 gouache paintings actually. I remember the one in the water. I painted this when I was sitting at a water in my area, and I was just sitting in the sun, and it finally started to feel like summer. It was really late for a summer month, like it was July. It was so much fun. Here we had in gouache and watercolor practice. On the right you can see I was trying to learn perspective better, which really I feel so uncomfortable about it. But throughout the sketchbook you will see 1 or 2 other pages where I tried to learn it, and I think it got better with time. Totally not perfect, but that's the fun thing about sketchbooks. And here we have my very first alcohol marker painting in the sketchbook, like the real one, and I only had like 10 colors, and they weren't really good pens, but I already had so much fun with it. That's why I chose to go with the alcohol markers. Now we have some watercolor practice, which is always fun for me. As a kid, I was in a watercolor school and I learned a lot of things about methods that you could use to make your paintings more interesting. So if you're interested in one of such videos, I could totally do it, like what I learned in watercolor school. It's not a lot that I remember, but enough to make good art. And here's my very first page that I made with the Ohuhu markers, and I immediately fell in love. You can see all these fantasy inspired themes throughout the sketchbook, and that is mainly because I'm inspired to draw again because of fantasy, I believe. Like, I read a lot of fantasy books, so if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments and tell me your favorite fantasy read. While we go through these next pages, I just want to talk about how special this sketchbook really is for me, because this is actually the very first I've ever finished. For such a long time, I struggled with perfectionism. I would start sketchbooks, but I never made it to the last page. And that was because I felt like every page had to be good enough. And with this one, I finally let go of that idea. I gave myself permission to make ugly pages, messy experiments, and just everything that I don't actually do. I glued on different papers and pages that were flying around where I drew in and just thought, let's put it into the sketchbook and collect it all. And in the end, that's what helped me actually fill it up completely. Like, I know a lot of people are struggling with filling up sketchbooks, and I think for me what really helped me was the imperfection it is. It's not about like creating a perfectly portfolio that I have to show anyone. It's about giving myself a space to grow and to play and to just really learn to have fun with art again, just when I was a child. Like, I really long struggled with trying to be perfect, especially with social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You see all this perfect artwork, but in the end, what really matters is that it's your art, and no art can be recreated because it's something so personal, in my opinion. And that's what I meant before, that really reading fantasy again gave me so much inspiration, and it wasn't really about doing perfect fan art or something. It was more about like drawing down the things that I kind of dream of and where I would like to escape to, and in some way it was an escape to another world. Here, for example, you can see my cats that I drew into a fantasy style. Like, my lady cat has little wings and is blue and turquoise, and it was so much fun. And my red cat has a third eye, which is something really special to me. Like, the third eye sees everything. And I don't know, it was so much fun to finally let go. So if you really feel like you can't let go, maybe really just try to go all over in your sketchbook. Glue in pages of artworks that you never really liked, glue in different kind of structured papers, and try out materials that you never used before. Just play around with it. And to come back to the Royal Talent sketchbook from the beginning, where I said I want to gift it to someone, to you. Currently, I'm getting so much support and love and such lovely comments on my shorts and on my TikTok account. A lot of people loved the way I decorated the art creation sketchbook. And since this paper isn't for me, I would be so happy to gift it to someone. And I also have two tiny, I think it's around A6 size Royal Talent sketchbooks, and I've got them at TJ Maxx or something. And I just wanted to try them and got a bunch of them because they were that cheap. So maybe I can make 3 of you happy. So I have 2 A6 size and 1 A5 size, which is the personalized one. Let me know in the comments what you would prefer and what you would be happy about to get, because it would be just such a shame for these sketchbooks to lie around. And this is your sign to grab a sketchbook again. Just comment down below your favorite spread of this sketchbook, and I would send it to you, and that way we can get creative again together. And maybe tell me if you would prefer an A5 size, an A6 size, and if you would prefer like an decorated sketchbook that I can decorate for you. Now to come to the last 3 pages that you saw. So maybe you noticed that there was one for Nepal, one for Gaza, and one for France, and that on the right side of the one for France there is a blank page. And I chose to do this with all my mind in it, that I didn't think it was fitting for such 3 horrible pages to put something whimsical beside it. I always struggled with an issue called Weltleiden in German, which means you suffer from all the things happening in the world, even though they don't happen to you. And these 3 pages were like my page to let go of it and to help me with my depression and anxiety it gives me. Like, I always think about the people, and I still do. This is not like something that I put it away, but I just wanted to recognize it. And when something else is gonna happen in the world, or maybe you have an event that you would like to see represented, then I will put it next to the friends page, but it just wasn't feeling right to put something else in it. It's really hard for me to talk about it, but we always have to remember all the things that are happening in the world, and we have to pray for those people and help if we can. And since for me it's really hard to help because I'm not in a financial situation that I can say I can give up any money that I have, because I'm just a person, and I don't really have a lot of money. I'm just a waitress. I have a shoulder injury, so I can't really work that much, and it's really hard for me myself, but it's nothing compared to those people. So if you're able to help, then do this. And yeah, this was just my little anecdote to it, these 3 pages. Here you can see I sketched out the tattoo I've got, and a funny story, I sketched this out in the train while I was driving to the tattoo appointment, because I originally wanted to have Elentia tattooed on my injured shoulder, because it's an injury that lasted now for 2.5 years and I suffer a lot from it. But then 3 days before my tattoo appointment, someone told me that I may get shoulder operation, and I was like, no, I can't really tattoo on this shoulder. And then I had to think of something else, and that's how this tattoo came. And fitting to front of class, here we have Manon and Dorian, and I hate this page, and so I stopped drawing in it and created this masterpiece. This is by far my favorite page in the sketchbook. I love it so much, and this is again like a reminder that some days are not your days to do art. Like the Manon and Dorian page, I hated so much, and then a day after I created this, I put so much passion in it and so much time. It was so much fun, and here I think my train is going up. So this one was so much fun to make. It's gouache and a lot of gold ink, and for me it represented love, and it's for the song Falling in Love Again, like the TikTok trend on TikTok right now, obviously. And it was so much fun. It's about like when you are loving someone, you're gonna get hurt. It's totally normal for love, but you still will be in the point that it doesn't matter because you love that person. And the gold fractured mirror represented that for me, that you will get hurt and get broken, but you will choose to see beauty in it again. And here this was just like a late night sketch. I was laying in bed and couldn't sleep, so I crept to my pants and just drew. And it's totally not a perfect page, but it was a page that helped me a lot. And here we have a fun page. So again, we have some just funny doodles, and then on the left side you can see I painted on a Pantone postcard, and I have a bunch of these. I had them for years now, so if you have any idea what I could do with them, just tell me. I also thought it would be fun to make mini artworks on it and just send them out to you guys if you'd like, just like prints, you could say, but it's hand painted and not just printed. So if this is something you would be interested in it, I can totally do it. I'm thinking about doing an art shop for a long time now, so maybe that's my sign. And talking about art shops, on this page I tried to draw little doodles and make them seem like they're stickers. This was so much fun. I used a green Ohuhu marker in just one color, and then a green colored pencil to do all the details and the shading, and it was so much fun. I love the little star on the left page. Sorry, I always struggle with left and right, but the star on the left page was so much fun. Here we have another practice with acrylic markers. I love the fox, I hate the deer, but I love the surrounding of the deer. But I just think the deer was so tiny on the page that it was really hard to capture any details with the brush tip. I saw these Languru gel pens that are filled with acrylic paint, and since painting this page, I'm thinking about getting those. So if you have any experience with them, can you recommend them? It's kind of terrifying that you can only get them at Shein and Temu and AliExpress, but I'm so interested in them. And here we are almost at the end. So this page was so much fun. I love all the gold in it. I used to do just little gold details, and here I tried to be the gold a part of the painting, and it was so nice. And the very last page is painted. So here we have Rowan and Aylin. So my boyfriend asked me to draw a hawk, and so I just thought it would be fitting to do Aiden on the other side. And that's it. As you can see, the sketchbook is really thick, and I'm so glad I finally finished one and went on this journey. And as I said about the art creation sketchbook, just let me know what you would like. Of course, be a subscriber of the channel, because this is for the people that supported me throughout the last few weeks, and have a nice day.